Good morning, everybody. I am waiting to see if the video. All right, let me set that there. So it seems like I had some challenges with whatever update Facebook made. So hopefully this is going on both our nutrition coaching group on this side and contest prep on this side. One of the things that I wanted to go over today is if you got yesterday's email where I was talking about goal setting, adjust this. Goal setting is really critical at this time, whether you are getting ready for a show or just in general. And the reason that I wanted to start talking about it yesterday is because there are two things that are always going to happen, right? You are going to set goals and things are going to come up. And things don't always have to be bad, like the situation that's happening, right? Where life is interrupted. They could be as simple as a holiday like today, right? So normally if you are, out and about and it's Cinco de Mayo and you want to go out for Mexican and you want to have a margarita and all of that, I personally think that if you can quantify what you're doing, then everything is, I guess, okay, right? It really just does become a matter of being able to quantify what you're going to do. But with that said, I think that it's important to work backwards from wherever it is that you want to go to wherever it is that you are right now. And what I mean by that is I always like to use everybody that's prepping for a show as an example because they have a specific date that they are getting ready for. The equivalent to that would be if you have a target date like a birthday or a vacation or a wedding or a graduation or a reunion. Insert thing, right? Insert thing that gives you a date or target. You can impose the target if you wanted to. That isn't the thing. So if you have a target date, that gives you the opportunity to work backwards, right? And when you have the opportunity to work backwards, then you can gauge more or less what things need to happen in order to start moving you in the direction that you want to go. So if you have a target date, like let's say, like I said in my email yesterday, the first day of summer, that target date is coming for all of us. We don't individually need to have an event when there are certain dates that are going to hit us all, right? The first day of summer is coming no matter what. You don't need to celebrate it. You don't need to believe in anything. Like the first day of summer is coming. The 4th of July is coming. Labor Day weekend is coming, right? So all of those things are coming. And all of those are target dates that you can use in order to either quantify how much progress you are making or not, right? You could also gauge it as a time that you're not. But it's also great to have these target dates to set short-term goals that you can hit along the way. So, for example, let's say you wanted to use the summer as your relaunch or as the opportunity to really propel your fitness forward, your health forward, right? So the end of the summer is like mid-September, but for the most part, people usually say that Labor Day weekend is the last weekend of the summer, right? So if we wanted to use Labor Day weekend as our target date, right, as a weekend that we're going to use as our end result, then we can have a bunch of other dates along the way that let us know whether or not we're moving forward, whether or not we're on pace. Now that target date can be a number of things. It can be a weight loss goal. It could be like, I want to lose 5 or 10 pounds or whatever. And you guys know that's not really, how we should quantify things. But let's say it is, right? That could be the goal. It could be, I want to look a certain way by this day. I want to feel a certain way. I want to be able to run, a 5K without stopping. I want to be able to climb this mountain, like whatever it might be, right? Like if the end of the summer, Labor Day weekend is your target date, and your goal, then we can work backwards. We can work backwards with smaller target dates, but we have to regress all the way to where you are. So if that's the end, let's say it's a 5K. You want to run a 5K without stopping, and as of today, you're not running. So we need to either start a program that's going to allow you to begin running today and then quantify how much progress you need to make along the way so that by that date, you can run a 5K without interruption. Now, if that is the case, along the way, then you want to have certain markers that let you know that what you're doing is moving you forward. So for example, today is May 5th. So you can set May 20th, May 31st as your first short-term goal to quantify how much progress you've made or not made. So for example, if you are not running as of right now and your target goal is a 5K, then between today and the end of May, you should have either began to run or quantify how much running you're doing or set a certain amount of running that you could do without interruption or some kind of run-walk combination. And then between today and June 20th, let's say, which is the first day of summer, you can have set another goal that is going to compound everything you're doing between now and then, right? And then the 4th of July could be your next one. And then the first day of August could be your next one. And then finally we get to Labor Day weekend. Now, if along the way that you see that you are not on course, you have the opportunity to course correct. You also have the opportunity to see how your body is making progress or not making progress. Let me give you an example with weight loss, but let me connect. Let me plug this in because it looks like this side is dying. I'll give you a really good example with your weight loss goal or your fitness goal. So let's say that the goal is weight loss or something, right? You want to look better, you want to feel better, you want a little bit more muscle, you want to lose a couple pounds, you want to drop your body fat percentage. That's for the most part what everybody's is striving for to some extent. Some people want more or less, but that doesn't matter because that ends up being the goal, right? So you want to lose a little bit of weight, you want more muscle, that's going to require a certain amount of things. So let's say that you want X result by the end of the summer, Labor Day weekend. And today you are doing whatever you're doing, right? If you're in these groups and we're working together, so I know what you're doing, but I'm just trying to generalize because I'm probably going to upload this somewhere else too. But let's say that you are following a plan, right? In your case, you're following the plan that we've created for you. And you want to accelerate your results. What you want to look at is how much am I doing within the parameters of what I am supposed to do? How much of that has been done for the last couple of weeks? And then what changes can we make in order to accelerate the next set of things, right? So if the goal that you're looking for is a little bit of weight loss, a little bit of muscle, you want to overall feel better, you want to look better, right? So then we've got to look at what's going on right now. Are you getting to the food that we need to consume, right? Your food is your fuel. We've created plans for all of you based on where you were, and then currently where you are, and then obviously with the outcome in mind. Now, when these things start to happen, then we start to see, when I eat all of these foods, I get this result over this amount of time. When I eat all of these foods and I exercise, I get this result over this amount of time. When I eat all these foods but I don't exercise, then these are the results that I get. So then we have to stack all that information together. And sometimes, honestly, even saying it might seem like, oh, it's a lot of work, but it's really not, right? One of the things that I've seen over the last couple of weeks that we are all going through this quarantine simultaneously, and not everybody has the ability to make that time to go to the gym, and you've got to make the time to do it at home no matter what, is how important it is to make sure that both things are synchronized. And there's a lot of information that people spit out that at first instance makes sense, but when you really dissect it, doesn't. The whole nutrition is 80% and exercise is only 20%. It's devaluing devaluing both things. I really think that you need to put 100% effort into both things. Now, both things do different things, right? Your exercise program is one thing, and that should be supported by your nutrition, and your nutrition should support your exercise program and vice versa. But you do want to make the connection that both things do go together. I have observed over several weeks how both instances do not work without the other. We have several people that have been doing really, really well with their food and not working out for one reason or another. Maybe, the situation has them and feeling in a way that they just don't really want to work out, even though working out would probably make them feel better. Or we have people that are doubling down on their exercise, but honestly, the stress and being home is getting the best of them. So their eating hasn't been in a way that supports the end goal. And what I've seen is that one without the other, they just catch up to you, right? You could be eating exactly what you're supposed to eat, exactly for your body, the right amount of calories, the right amount of nutrition, everything is great. And if you are not moving in your body in a way that makes it react physically with some level of intensity, it muscles and active tissue, and it needs to be stimulated. And then the other way, like you could beat your body down to the ground. And if you are not supporting that with nutrition that supports whatever the end goal is, that's not going to work either way. Now, there are some benefits. Obviously, if you're eating well, then that's great. You're giving your body good nutrition, but you do need to move. And if you're exercising in a way that stimulates you and you feel good about that and your muscles are being worked, that's great too. But the two things, one without the other, there's no way around it. Like they just have to go together. And there's nothing wrong with either one, right? You should want to eat well and you should want to exercise. Those are the things that you should want to do. And when you piece them together, they work in synchronicity. So what I want to get at is let's not fall off topic. So you got your end goal, Labor Day weekend. You want to lose a couple pounds. So what are you doing right now? You're eating all your food, drinking your water, exercising, and your body is doing these things, right? We've made observations. You've lost this. When you do this, you do that, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what do we need to do next? Let's do this. Maybe we take a little bit out here, or maybe we increase the amount of exercise that you're doing, and then let's monitor how that works from now, May 5th through, it could be May 15th, May 20th, May 31st, whatever. And then based on those observations, let's say, okay, since this happened between these days, between June 1st and June 20th, which is the first day of summer, we will do this. And then all that together leads you to the next place. So now you're looking at between May 5th and June 20th, about 6 weeks or so, you've done all of these things to accelerate you. That is one piece of the puzzle that gets you closer to that end goal, which is going to be, Labor Day weekend in September. Is it Labor Day weekend? Yeah, Labor Day weekend. Memorial weekend is now. And you could even use that Memorial Day weekend at the end of May. That could be a target date. You can have Memorial Day weekend. You can have first day of summer, 4th of July, Labor Day weekend, 4 target dates where your end goal, Memorial Day weekend, is not to be in the ultimate shape. That's the end goal, Labor Day weekend. But by Memorial Day weekend, how much momentum can you build so that when that weekend rolls around, you are in that momentum building phase and you are further ahead than you are now. Now, the reason that I wanted to do this video today is because things like Memorial Day weekend will come up, like Cinco de Mayo will come up, 4th of July. Are you barbecuing? Are you going out to dinner? None of those things should detract you from your goal. They should be inclusive. So if you are on a plan, and I know that everybody likes to build momentum on Monday, but now it's Tuesday, and like, did you want to have a margarita today? Did you want to go have tacos today? Listen, we can, right? But then there's going to be an outcome. Are you going to be retaining water tomorrow? Are you going to be 1 or 2 pounds heavier? Is it going to take you 2 or 3 days to maybe work some of that off, depending on how it sits? I wanted to do this video. I've got my contest prep people on this side because they have a photo shoot in 2 weeks. So doing something like that today, while could be inclusive, might set them back in order to get to the thing that they have coming up in 2 weeks. So there is a time and a place for everything, right? So while I talk about balance, and while I talk about including things in your diet and your eating program and your training, you also have to keep things in mind and perspective on when they fall. If I have somebody getting on stage this Saturday, then this is not the week to try to be inclusive and see how things react, right? Those are things that we discover along the way. But if it's May 5th and you have a goal the first weekend of September, it's okay to bring something in because we have time to work that off. Now, if you have a vacation set out, Labor Day weekend, September, and you want to look your best, then that Friday isn't the time to start partying it up because you're not going to hit your target date. You're going to fall short. So everything, everything fits, everything in balance, but you've got to see where and how it plugs in. It's not a random, well, today's a holiday, let me do this. Like, for example, Mother's Day is coming up. Is it okay to have a cheat meal on Mother's Day? It's Mother's Day, of course. It's just like, how do we build that in? Like, how we don't simply say, yeah, it's Mother's Day, have a cheat day. Like that's why the coaching is so important, because as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, so if we're going to be able to enjoy the day and not overthink it, then what do we need to do Friday, Saturday, leading into this Mother's Day that where you can have a green light to enjoy it with your family in whatever way you do. If you do and if you don't, that doesn't matter. What do we need to do Monday to retro that so that balances out? All of those things are things that I'm thinking about when I'm saying yes, and still keeping in mind that we have goals to hit. So when you are mapping out your goals, it is important to have these little ones so that you keep yourself accountable, so that when the Cinco de Mayo comes up, if you have a photo shoot in 2 weeks, you are not like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, YOLO, you only live once, I'm gonna like party it up today. That isn't gonna get you, because then you're gonna regret it down the road. So the short-term goals keep you keep that momentum going because you have a short-term thing coming, but then at the same time, they contribute to the bigger goal, because none of the people that are going to go have this photo shoot in 2 weeks were going to be, ready for their ultimate outcome in 2 weeks. They're going to be ready for that particular outcome. And that result will propel them to the next result, and the next result to the next result, and so on and so forth until you get to your ultimate outcome, which, if I tell all of you, the ultimate outcome almost never comes, because as you get better, your standards change. And as your body's improving, it's in one way you start to pick it apart and start to find the flaws. But the truth is that your levels change. You start to say, oh, what can I do this? Can I do the other? And sometimes we don't spend enough time celebrating the result that we've gotten to, but it's because your standards change along the way. And that's part of the process. So along the way, you get better and you try to level up. So by the time you reach whatever outcome you have preset, you've changed, and now that comes to a next level. So we almost never hit that target because we are getting better along the way, and that's part of the process too. And that's why I tell everybody, when we set a goal, let's hit that goal, knowing that things are probably going to change along the way. And once we hit it, no matter whether we hit it too fast or it takes us longer than expected, know that there is something else that is going to come after that. So let me bring that all together. Setting short-term goals is really important. Doing what you need to do to get to that short-term goal, and then keeping short-term goal to short-term goal so that eventually you land on that long-term goal. If today you said, I want to get in shape for Labor Day weekend, and didn't do anything about it until August, you would have lost all that time. The time is going to pass anyway. So why not do the little things that you can do in between and set targets that you can hit along the way, and then let those targets be the momentum builders till the next target. And they can be whatever it seems, whatever works best for you. So whether they are 2-week targets or 4-week targets or 6-week targets, having targets that we're going to work toward is always better, because it's going to be a lot easier to hit them. And when you hit them, you're going to build momentum toward the next one. Okay. So I'm probably going to be talking a lot about that, because usually the summer is where I see a lot of people having goals and targets. And I know that we've been disrupted a little bit over this time, but the summer is still coming. Those deadlines and targets are still coming, and maybe we move them. Maybe we have first day of fall target. a Halloween target, a Thanksgiving target, winter holiday season target, whatever it might be. The targets and the goals don't need to be only during the summer. They could be any time. But between now and then, what we can do is think about what it is that we really want, and then how can we break it down so that we are hitting them. Along the way, we might have to do a lot of other things. We might have to repair your metabolism, fix eating habits, fix sleeping habits, fix workout habits. Whatever habits we need to work on along the way are part of these short-term goals, because if we can fix them, then you start to see how they build on to whatever your end result is going to be. So I hope that makes sense. It is Tuesday. If you're having tacos tonight, enjoy them. Let me know, because we need to build that in. But if you have questions, you could post them, you could share them, whatever the case might be. Either way, I'm probably going to share this on YouTube and send it in our email today. Okay? Bye, everybody. Thank you.